Hi, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you find this template helpful in managing your transaction. A quick note, this is an unrefundable digital product. Any unauthorized distribution, reproduction, or sharing of this template is strictly prohibited. And if you have any question or feedback, just shoot me an email. And once you have duplicated a copy of the template on your private workspace, this is how it will look like. Since it doesn't have any transaction yet, it will look blank. So for the sake of our walkthrough, I've already went ahead and added a few transactions as an example while working with our system. So here, a few notes that you can do. You can update or change your cover photo. You can also change the icon to emoji or upload your logo. And you can also update the name of your system. You can change it to your company name. And here you can also change this motivational quote. Now let's do an overview of our dashboard. Let's start first with the left side. Here at the top, we have the Create New Task button. We also have the task status, the day-to-day, the progress percentage, and the tasks done out of all our tasks for today and that are overdue. And we also have a few buttons for the homepage. This is our homepage for each transaction that we have. We also have navigation or database. So we'll go over this a little deeper later. Now for the right side part, first we have the task alerts, and in task alerts, we have the overdue and due today view. So here are all the tasks that are due for the day and the tasks that have been overdue. So here you can see a checkbox. Once you're done or once you've completed the task, just click this to mark it done. And we also have the task name, the name of the agent it's related to, the related transaction, and when it's due. And as you can notice, we have different color schemes. For purple, it means that it's an admin task. It's not related to any transaction. So as you can notice, the agent and the transaction are black. And if it's blue, it means that the task is due for today, while red means the tasks have been overdue for a few days now. And now for the incoming tasks, these are the list of tasks that are due in the next 7 days. As you can see, we have another color schemes. For the green, it means it is due within the next 3 days. And if it's yellow, it's a personal task. It's not an admin task or it's not related to any transaction that you have. And if it's blue, these are tasks that are due in the next 4 to 7 days. And now for due dates, these are the tasks without due dates. Yes. And for the completed, the tasks that you have completed, it will live here. Now let's move forward for the closings for the month. We have three tabs here. So the closings are all the transactions that are scheduled to close for the current month. And here for the cards, we have the transaction name or the file name. We have the agent, what type of transaction this is, the status of the transaction, the date of closing, and the purchase price. As you can also notice, we have another color schemes. If it's red, it means the transaction have already closed. If it's orange, the closing will be in the next 7 days. If it's green, it means the closing is in more than 7 days. Now for the under contract tab, these are all the transactions that you have under contract, no matter the closing date is. And lastly, we have the closings calendar. This is to visualize when your closings are gonna happen. Now, let's go over to the under contract transactions. We have a few tabs here. So first is status. These are the transactions that are under contract and is grouped by status. We have those under option period and financing period. And once that's passed, we will move them to under contract. And once we receive the clear to close and just waiting for the closing, we move them to the last group. Okay. So here you can see the name of the transaction, how many days before it will close, the property address, the closing date, the progress bar, and the transaction type. So here, let's say, for example, that this transaction already received the clear to close. You can always click it and drag it to move. We also have the close in funded in case you want to see the transactions that have closed. And now for the current tab, these are all the transactions that we have, may it be a buyer, seller, tenant, or landlord, whether they may be under contract or not. And we have another closings calendar in case the first one is not enough. And we also have the expiring calendar. This is where we can see those listing or buyer agreements that are gonna end. And we have the close tab. This is the list of the properties that have already closed. So we have the name of the transaction, the agent, the closing date, the commission of the agent, and the purchase price, and also the transaction type. And now for the active listings, these are the current listings that we have that are not yet under contract. So for the active buyers, it's the same for the listings. These are our buyers that have not been under contract. And for the table, these are all the transactions that we have in the table format. So red means it's closed and funded. Purple means it's under contract. Green means it's clear to close. Blue is in option period and financing period. Orange means it's pre-offer or have an active buyer agreement. If it's yellow, it means it's an active listing. And now let's check the databases. So databases is the same as the navigation. So here, let's check the transactions, all transactions database. Here is where all your transaction lives. It is grouped by listings, purchase, and leases. So here we have all transactions. We have like 4 tabs each. This will list all of the transaction. However, if it's grouped, it will only show those that are in that type of transaction. Like this one is for listings only. This is for purchase only, and so on and so forth. And for the status, these are your transactions grouped by status. And under contract, those transactions that are under contract. And we also have a list for a more compact view. And it will be the same for purchases, listing, and leases. Let's just check listings as an example. So here we have the 4 tabs. It's I just created them their own database. So you won't have to need, so you won't need to just to click transactions and scroll down to the listing. It will be the same. And now for the master task list, this is where all your tasks live. So we have three group here. First is the admin task for those tasks that are related to your business, and personal tasks are tasks that are not admin and not transaction related. And lastly, we have the transaction related task. So here, let's check this first. For the transaction related tasks, we have three tabs. The first tab is for the tasks that are grouped per transaction. So here we have the name of the transaction, and next we have each card for each task. So the task name, the due date, and if it's overdue or when it's gonna be due, and the checkbox. We also have the table view. These are all the tasks that are sorted based on the due date. And the other, these are the tasks that are not admin, not personal, and not transaction related, but you just add it as as a task. For admin and personal tasks, you only have one tab. So to create a new task, just click the button at the top or the button on the homepage for the new task. Now let's move to the client's database. Here we have a button that you can just click to add a client. These are the list of the sellers, buyers, or tenants or landlords that you have. These are just samples. You can always delete it. So to delete, just click the checkbox and hit the delete button. Now for the agents, these are the agents that you work with or have worked with. There's a button to add an agent. We have two tabs here. One is the table format and the other one is the gallery. So if you upload a photo of the agent, it will show us the cover photo of the card. And next is the preferred partners. So here you can add all your partners, your preferred vendors, like your lenders, escrow officers, inspectors, electrician, etc., etc. Same with the agents. We also have the table view and the gallery view. And if you have a photo uploaded, it will also show here. And last database is our email templates. We have two, one for buyer and one for seller. So let's just check the buyer side. So here we have a few that you can use. Just toggle it to open. We have the subject and we have the body. So you can just copy and paste this on your email. Just don't forget to update those brackets. And now that we're done with the overview, let's go and add a new transaction. So to do that, let's just go to Start Transaction box, and we have one button for each transaction. We have listing, purchase, landlord, and tenant. The process will always be the same no matter the type of transaction. You click the button, create a title of the file or the transaction, fill out the details, click the button for the checklist, and add the due dates. That will always be the same for any transaction that you might have. So now let's try to add a new listing. The transaction name will always be app to you on how you do it with your workflow. Now, for the details, first we have the agent. Here, just click this and all the list of agents that you have in your agents database will be listed here. You can just click which one you are working with this transaction. And the transaction type, it's a seller. And the status, let's say it's already under contract and in the option period. Now, the property address, the complete address, and we have two placeholders for our clients. We have client one and client two. If you have more than two clients, you can always add the other clients in the notes section. And for the agreement ends, this is when a listing or a buyer agreement will expire. Now, if it's a listing, just add the listing price. And this is the contract execution date, and this is the closing date. And if it's a lease, just add here the date of when the lease will end. Also, the contract price. And now for the commissions, these are for percentages only. I don't have any feature for a flat fee. So if you need to get the percentage of the flat fee, just divide it over the contract price. The GCI and the NCI will automatically be calculated. So for the fees, you have to add the total of all the fees that will be deducted to your gross commission. So for example, if the only deduction that you have is a broker fee, so just add it here. But if in case you have more than, let's say for example, you also need to cover for the TCP or you have a split referral, so you have to total it first before adding it here. And now for the title info, what I add here is the title company, the title address, title officer, title email, huh? Title email, and title phone number. For the loan officer, it's the same with the title info. The company, address, loan officer, email, and phone number. And for the notes, just add here any notes that you have with the contract. Let's say, for example, you have non-realty items, or the seller will pay for an X amount of home warranty, or if there is a BDSA, or the seller is contributing an X amount to the closing cost, etc., etc. And now let's click the checklist button to populate our tasks. Once the tasks are loaded, just add the due dates. If you see a load more button below the table, just click that to load all the tasks. Once you're done, you can just click anywhere to exit. As an additional tip, if you have an online file management system, like using Google Drive or Dropbox to compile all the documents and the files that are related to the transaction, you can copy the link of that file of that folder and just paste it here. Let's say, for example, this one. So you can always have it when you open a transaction. And now let's exit. How about if a transaction didn't work out and the parties decided to terminate? How are we gonna delete the transaction? There is no easy way to do that. So we'll have to manually delete the task related to the transaction and delete the file as a whole. So to do that, let's say Dwayne and Lila Johnson didn't work out. You can choose here or go to our all transactions database. So let's choose this one. First, we'll need to delete all the tasks that are related to the transaction. So here you can see we have two check boxes. You need to check the one on the left, and once there's a blue button at the top, just check that, click that, and it will check all the tasks that are related to the transaction and click the delete button. Now it's been erased. And next, we have to delete the file. So the three buttons at the top, click that one and choose Move to Trash. Now it's deleted. Lastly, please don't forget to check my coffee shop for other available templates. If you are needing a template and it is not here, just shoot me an email so we can work together. Thank you and fighting everyone.